Welcome back to the Hoovers. This is episode 2 of the Hoovers.
I'm Sam. I'm Talia.
And I'm Lana Hanania. We are talking about two different books. I'm talking about Reminders of Him, me and Tal, and you were talking about what book?
It Ends With Us.
It Ends With Us. All right. Who wants to start?
Which one was that about? 'Cause I think I read that too, right?
It's like about Lily and Ryle and like Atlas. Do you know them?
Maybe I read It Starts With Us.
It Starts With Us just came out.
Yeah, I have that.
Okay, that's
Reminders of Him?
Was like in a good pace.
No, I think it took forever.
Like, because it switched back from them so quickly.
Yeah, but I feel like they were always talking about the same thing every time.
Yeah,
About
yeah,
the kid,
yeah.
and then it was like, oh, I want to kiss you, you want to kiss me, but they never actually end up doing it after so long, and it just like drags out. I'm like, okay.
I like how
need
it put
something
it in like
different.
both of their perspectives, because like it like showed you like what both of them
Yeah,
like
are
wanted.
thinking. Yeah.
But like it was like so similar. Like it was just like I know what he's gonna say.
Uh-huh,
Like she's gonna
I
say the
know.
same thing because they both want it. But like it like literally made it so like. Like really made it clear what the tension was.
Yeah,
because, like,
I know,
both,
because
like,
you know what they both
Yeah.
want. Yeah, which is
I
nice.
like how it went back and forth quickly. Like
Yeah,
Ugly
I
Love,
did
like
like
it took
that.
long, but like I got to do it quickly.
Right.
And like it was like in the beginning, like it was cool. Like she's walking in the bar and like.
And
she's,
she
like,
had no idea who
Yeah.
he was until she saw his truck. I was like, oh.
So she gets in the car, or she gets in the bar, and then she's like, this guy's like looking at me, and then you read his part, and then he's like, there's this interesting girl, I keep wanting to give her something.
Yeah.
And it's like they're both like not knowing each
I
other.
really
but,
want to
like,
know what she looks like. Because every
I
time I
know.
imagine her in my head, I'm
I
like, she is probably
know.
gorgeous, but I don't know what gorgeous she looks like.
I know.
It drives me insane.
That
But
story was so good. I can talk about that for hours. So let's
What?
like give them a summary.
yeah, so basically there is a girl named Kina. She had a boyfriend named Scotty. They got in a car crash. They were like dating a couple months before that. Then they got in a car crash and she left Scotty there to die.
Yeah, and
That's crazy.
Right?
but she was like so in love with him. Your teacher was just walking
Yeah.
past. She was so in love with him, and she like once you hear like her part of the story of like she didn't just leave Scotty. She was just like I want to leave. I just.
She
wanna
was
leave him.
drunk. I think she was scared.
So she walks in this bar and she ends up meeting this guy that she's interested in named Ledger, and Ledger happens to be like.
Go.
Ledger happens to be Scotty's ex-best friend. Yeah. But, like, so her dead ex-boyfriend.
Right.
And she didn't know that till she recognized his car, and, like, she didn't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then one time she found out where he lived, and he knew that he had a connection with her. So she had a baby. So she went to prison. She had a baby with Scotty.
Yeah. And she wasn't. They took her baby right when she.
Yeah. So her baby
had
was
it.
with
Oh my
her baby
God.
was with Scotty's parents. So she knew to
Wait,
get.
where
She had
were
to
her
find.
parents?
She doesn't have a good relationship with her mom.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
got it.
And like her mom wanted nothing to do with the baby.
Okay, she wasn't able to see the baby, and that's mostly what the book is about her, the
Like, her
parents
need to see
letting
her
her.
baby,
Yeah.
But like once, Ledger sees her, like so she goes and like knocks on the parents' door and like,
Roger doesn't let it happen.
yeah, Ledger like pulls her away and like realizes who he are, and he like grows to hate her. But then he like starts like falling in love with her and like being sympathetic for her that she can't see her like
Right.
baby.
Because they see her as like a murderer, but then once they actually find out like it was like an accident,
Yeah.
then they're like, okay, this girl's actually really nice.
And like throughout the whole book, she's like writing letters to Scotty, being
Yeah,
like,
it's really
met,
cute.
I just met Ledger, like da da da. Then she's like, love Kina, like
Yeah.
to Scotty, whatever, dear Scotty. And like, you skip a lot. Like her and Ledger end up like getting involved with each other, and then the parents find out. Scotty's parents find out, and they're like so mad at Ledger. Like the dad punches Ledger in the face, and like, yeah. And then they're like, yeah, you're never. They told
he's never gonna see the kid.
Yeah, that she's never
Yeah.
gonna see her child and like stuff like that. And then she goes to Ledger one more time. She's like, please, like I need this, da da da. And he was like still in love with her, so he like went back to the house. He found out her letters, and like when she wasn't there, because they moved into with each other partially. Like Ledger gave her a job like secretly in the back.
Yeah.
And so that she can like make money or whatever. And he said that he was gonna give her a job and like so that she could get money so that she could get out of town.
Yeah.
But instead of doing that, he just like he wanted to keep her around longer because he thought like things might change.
Because he already had money, so he could just give her money and let her leave.
But he wanted to like for her to work for him. And then he found her like letters, and he gave the parents, Scotty's parents, the letter of
what happened
when he died.
Oh my god.
So like the letter right after he died, that's the one he went and brought and showed them. And it was like I was like it showed like she was like so heartbroken. Like they made it seem like she didn't care. She just went home in her bed, like she was drunk or whatever, and then she was found. But she was like running and screaming for help, like running down the highways, just like a mess. And she was like totally destroyed. And like they never knew her point of view that she like actually cared till like after they read the letter.
Yeah, because in
I
the
feel
book
like they
they
would have
didn't
to
explain
try and,
it.
find help, but if they're in the middle of nowhere, then
Right.
you can't blame her.
And she was
Because they
just like
made
so
it seem
lost.
in the beginning of the book she literally woke up and just left. And that's why I was like, okay, Kina, like, what is up with you?
You never knew like Kina's side of the story, but she was so in love with him. Like she was so heartbroken. And, like the only piece of him she had left was like
The kid.
the baby. Like
literally.
So that was like she wasn't like being selfish at all, and she like didn't want to overstep, but like that was her baby. And like what was the baby girl, right?
Yeah, baby
yeah.
girl.
And she was like 3 years old by the time because she was in jail for 3 years, right?
She's like 4
6
years old
or something.
or 5.
I don't know.
4 or 5.
She was young.
Yeah.
But the parents would say that she like went to go get a better car. Like they just told, because when the little girl would ask like, where's like my mom, like like she went to go get a bigger car or something. It didn't fit because you're bigger now or something like that.
The kid didn't like understand what was going on, so whatever they told her, she was like, oh.
But then after Ledger brought the letters over to the mom to see, like she ended up showing up and telling Kina like come over for dinner, and like they let her meet the child, and it was so sweet. Like like it was so
imagine going through all that and finally meeting that child.
Yeah,
like
that's all crazy. Of that.
And she and like when you read like her like point of view of like her first time meeting her like child, it was like so touching. It was like so cute. And then like
cute, it happens in like real
life.
life.
The last letter to Scotty was so like
crying.
Yeah, it was so like heartbreaking. Like she literally like she like everyone hated her. Like she was so
the
desperate.
whole town knew about her.
Like,
that's why she
like,
had to change her name to like Nicole, because everyone knew this girl.
Like he told
Kina
Ledger he had a
sucks.
different name too, because he would obviously recognize her name, but he never like actually met her, so he didn't really know what she looked like.
Yeah.
And she looked different after jail, so like the mugshots or whatever.
Yeah.
And
did she end up like getting her child, like getting custody of it, or did they
I don't
never
think
talk?
they didn't really fight over the custody. It was just like
given.
She would be able to. I think it just ended off like her having like a steady relationship with her child. Like she was never like, oh,
did you
she's
read
mine.
In the end, Kina and Ledger have a kid and they name him Scotty.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was cute.
That's cute.
Yeah, it was so cute.
Do they live in Ledger's house, the one he built?
Yeah.
Yeah, I expected that.
Ledger like built a house and
it's
like on. So like sad. Like she just is so desperate to like have someone like understand that like she lost someone too that day, and it was just like not.
They made it seem like it was only the parents and the best friend who lost someone, but I was like, well, there's no way that this girl Kina is not literally going insane because of this.
Like
they made it seem like it didn't matter at all. She comes back to jail and like she kisses Ledger, and I was like, okay, what's going on? That's why I got so confused. I was like, there has to be more to this.
Yeah, I know. And then like I never knew like what Kina wanted, but like once you started like reading her letters, you like know like
when she does the letters, it's so like you're literally writing to a dead person. They're never seeing so this, sad, so that's so sad.
Yeah, it's like crazy.
Well, what do you think about our book?
Yeah, that's
And then we'll just
Honestly,
end it like that.
I feel like your book's like interesting, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like there's like obviously more details about it, but I just wouldn't. I don't know. I just feel like it just didn't really appeal to me when you guys were talking about it. Like I'm kind of just like zooming out. Like I get it. Like it's just like so sad, but I just like
You need a little more
I need
action.
a little bit more. Yeah.
But like our like summarizing it isn't doing it justice. Like it's so deep.
Yeah.
Like, you feel
Yeah,
like you
it
can relate
doesn't
to it, even though
actually
it's not,
explain the
Really?
whole.
going through it.
Because my book is like sad too, but like when I didn't get through as fast as like this book as I did The Ugly Love.
Right,
So
Ugly
it's
Love is
just,
really
like-
good. Probably my top 5.
So I just don't know. I mean,
Ugly Love got
I
me-
would
it
I would
took so
read
long to
it.
get to the point that every chapter in
It was good.
Every yeah, it was good, but like it took so long to get to the point. Like I
Yeah.
had to stop reading it, just skip.
I feel like that's how it is for every book. You don't know what's going on until
But
the end.
during reminders of him, like something was happening every chapter. Like it was just.
You
something.
think? I feel like it was the same thing every
What?
chapter.
It,
I feel like they're
it
at
was
the bar
same-
or they're at the grocery store. I'm like, come on.
I don't know. I don't think so. I
swear.
I feel like
You'll
it
see what I
was-
mean when you read it, Sam.
Yeah, I have so many books I have to read.
Right? Me too.
Like I feel like I didn't know. It was just like something happening. Like, and then when the parents like knew that who she
Probably
was.
towards the end,
like-
yeah. But in the beginning, like, I'm on page like 200 and I'm still not to the point where like she meets a kid or the mom finds out about Kena. Like, I'm like, come on, 200 pages and I still don't know anything.
Yeah, that's true. But like it's like.
I feel like once you get to the end though, it's like just so satisfying.
Yeah.
So I feel like once
So
you get there, it's
satisfying.
like
Yeah, and I want to get there so quickly. Like sometimes
Yeah.
I just like once I'm like near the end, I'm just like.
Which is
Read
why
that
you finish
quick.
this book so fast. I think it took Ugly Love took me like 2 days. This one took
Ugly.
me a
I
while.
read
I had
Ugly
no
Love
time.
in a day. It's
Yeah.
crazy, and that was like the first book I read in
Because it
so
had a lot of
long.
sex,
Yeah.
which you just keep on reading and
And I'm
reading and
like,
reading.
oh my
Reminders of
God.
Him was the first book I've ever read in my entire life.
Really?
Like my entire life.
Ugly Love was my first book in my entire life.
Like I've really never read a book other than Wonder, and that was read to me. I've read like little Dr. Seuss books, but like I've never actually read a full book.
Colleen Hoover, I'm glad to say that these are the books that I enjoy reading. They're definitely a good popular book.
Well, you should definitely read Reminders of Him. It's
Mhm.
a
Wait,
good
what's the
book.
book are you talking about?
I'm reading It Ends With Us.
Give me a little summary.
So, this is like previewing to the 3rd episode.
Yeah.
So basically, there's this girl, Lily, and she is like standing on sitting on a ledge of buildings because she just like needs a break from the like not like suicidal like that, but she's just like no. And then she meets this guy. His name is Ryle, and he
On the ledge?
no, like, and on the terrace, and he's like, can you get down from there? You're scaring me. So then she gets down, and they, like, sit down, and they have this, like, ugly truth moment, where it's just, like, they're both strangers, but they open up about their deepest things in their entire life, yeah. So then and then after that, they never see each other for, like, a really long time. And then she goes to, she, like, opens up a flower, she opens up a flower shop, and some girl walks in, her first employee ends up being Ryle's sister. So they end up
I feel like
meeting
everything
again.
like comes to a connection.
Everything has
like,
a
that's
connection.
so random,
right?
like her opening a flower shop and then
Yeah.
just like the sister. But like you don't know
Fate.
you don't know
It's
how it's
fate.
gonna all the books are low key about like
fate, yeah.
like all of them have set their own fate. They're all,
Right?
like tragic heroes.
Yeah,
Like
Tragic
with,
heroes and
Reminders
death.
of Him, where she goes to a random bar and Ledger's there. Like, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It's like, what are the odds?
What are
I
the
feel
odds?
But honestly, that's like
Like
how
the
like the
co-
books
the
are, because
author-
that's what makes it
yeah.
good, because
Yeah.
you know that's not gonna happen in real life. So
Well, like
that's
the
what
author
how
kind
else
of
would the
big
books
'cause she
start?
went to the town of
But
like
yeah, the
her,
same
her dead
town. Yeah.
boyfriend, so it's like you're gonna meet someone that. But like Ledger's bar, she didn't know it was Ledger's bar.
Yeah, but basically Ryle and Lily end up falling in love, but then something happens between them, so it ends up not ending well. So you just have to find out like what it is without me spoiling it too much.
All right,
did you-
guys.
Wait, Sam, did you finish it?
Yeah, I finished it.
Oh.
I'm reading.
Did it end good?
It's just sad. Like when you read it, it's just like heartbreaking. Like it just makes me feel so bad for her.
Happy ending.
Yeah, no.
I can't read it. I'll be like, bro, like, redo this.
Well, that was our talk for today.
Thank you for listening to episode 2 of The Hoovers. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.